Hello everyone and welcome back to the series. My name is Meet and in this series we are learning FreeCAD Python scripting from absolute beginner level. In the previous video we learned how to create geometry, how to create document objects and why special objects can provide more control over our CAD models. Today we are going to learn something that every CAD engineer, automation engineer and scripting developer must understand. How do we position objects in 3D space? Because creating a geometry is only half the job. If every object is created at the same location, then eventually our model becomes impossible to understand. So today we'll learn origins, translation, rotation, pivot points, and object placement, and we'll understand what is actually happening behind the scenes. Let's begin. So I'll start by writing a simple code where we'll make a sphere of, let's say, radius 5 mm and a cone, and we'll run this script. Notice something interesting. Both objects are appearing at the same location. They are overlapping. Now this is not a bug. This is exactly what we asked FreeCAD to do. Every primitive shape is generated relative to its own default origin. And because we never told these objects where to go, FreeCAD created both of them at their default location. Now before we learn movement commands, I want to discuss origin for a minute, because understanding origin makes translation and rotation much easier to understand. Different primitives start from different reference location. For example, a sphere is generated around its center. A cone is generated from the center of its bottom face. A cylinder is generated from center of its bottom face. A box is generated from one of its corners. This is important because when we move or rotate objects later, these reference locations become extremely important. I would highly encourage you to experiment with different primitives and try to identify where their origin is located. This small exercise will make future topics much easier. Now let's learn our first transformation, translation. Translation simply means changing position. We are not changing the geometry, we are simply changing where the geometry exists in space. Let's create two cones, cone 1 and cone 2. Mostly I'll be copying this part to make two cone. Now let's move the second cone. Now focus on the syntax, that how I'm writing the syntax for translation. That shape dot translate, inside that FreeCAD dot vector, and then XYZ. How much do we want it to translate in particular axis? This vector contains three values: X moment, Y moment, and Z moment. Think of it as telling FreeCAD move this object this much in X axis, or in Y, or in Z. Now let's run the script. Now we can clearly see that the second cone has moved. Okay, so now we'll try changing the other values. We'll make more cones and see what happens when I translate them into other direction. We have done the X direction. Now let's change it into the Y direction and run it again. And as you can see, the cone has moved. Now we'll make another cone and see what happens when we change its transition in Z direction. And then let's run it again. Now it moves upward along Z axis. Notice how we are only changing one number and immediately getting different behavior. That is why understanding vectors is extremely important in CAD scripting. Okay, so up till now we have learned about translation. Now we'll move forward towards rotation. Rotation is slightly more difficult than translation because it introduces a new concept called pivot point. Let's first create several cones and place them along x-axis so that we can easily compare results. So let's write the code, and let's first understand the syntax. Shape dot rotate, inside that First we'll describe pivot points, then the other one is rotation axis, and then the angle by which we want to move the object, by which we want to rotate the object. There are three inputs: pivot points, rotation axis, and angle. For now, let's keep the pivot point fixed at the global origin, that is 0, 0, 0. Let's keep the angle at 90 degree. We'll only change the rotation axis. Now the first one, we are changing axis to 1, 0, 0. This means rotate about the x-axis. We'll run this code and observe the result. As you can see, the cone has been rotated about x-axis. Now let's try and change and try to rotate it around y-axis. So we'll write 0, 1, 0. This means rotate about y-axis, and we'll run that again. Now something interesting happens here. You see, the cone is not how we imagine it would be. It is not rotated at its place, but it has moved along z-axis minus something. You can see that is in the z-axis. At this point, many beginners understand the axis but become confused about the pivot points. So let's discuss that. Imagine a stick. If I rotate the stick around its center, it spins in place. But if I rotate it around one end and the entire stick swings through space, the same thing happened here. The pivot point is simply the point that remains fixed during the rotation, and the other point is about a local origin of shape. For understanding pivot point better, let's create multiple cones, and I'll give them different angles so you can visualize what happens exactly when we fix the pivot point at some point in 3D space and then give it a rotation. Let's run the code. Notice that the cone moves around the global origin. Why? Because the global origin is acting as the center of rotation. Think of it as pole passing through the origin. The cone is rotating around that pole. But what if we just want to rotate it about its local axis? So instead of 0, 0, 0, we'll change the pivot point to its local origin, and we'll run the code again. Now notice the difference. The cone rotates much closer to its own position. This is because the center of rotation has moved. Nothing has changed. Same object, same axis, same angle. Only the pivot point changed, and yet the result is completely different. This demonstrates how important the pivot point really is. So far we've been transforming geometry directly. This is called the shape method. Now let's briefly look at the object method. So we'll make the objects using the object method, and I'll give it some radius, and let's see. As you can see the result, both of the cones are generated at the same point, and of course now we'll use the translate function to translate one of the cones. So now focus on the syntax. It's shape.placement.base equals to cat.vector, and in that vector x, y, z. Same as before, x, y, z, how much ever we want to give transition in whatever axis. Here base represents position. As we can see the results, the object has been moved along x-axis as expected. Now let's go for rotation. So now concentrate on the syntax for rotation. First it is shape.placement.rotation equals to cat.rotation, inside that CAD dot vector. Then it's about the axis we want to give rotation about, and then the angle. Notice that the syntax is different. There is no visible pivot point here. This is because FreeCAD rotates the object around its own local origin. This approach is completely used when working with document objects and larger CAD models. So as you can see the results, it has been rotated. And today we learned where primitive objects originate from, how translation works, and how rotation works, why pivot points matter, and how the object method differs from the shape method. I highly recommend typing every example yourself instead of simply copying the code. Writing the code repeatedly, it is one of the fastest ways to build intuition for coordinate systems and 3D transformation. Experiment with different axes, experiment with different angles, experiment with different pivot points. The more you explore, the more natural these concepts become. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.